3 men are in custody this morning in connection with the murder of a well-known Florida couple in their home last week. CBS News correspondent Terrell Brown has the very latest from Pensacola, Florida. Terrell, good morning.
Julie, good morning to you. 2 of the 3 men that are in custody right now are expected in a courtroom later on today. You know what, Julie, it's a tragedy for this town. This is a family that had adopted a dozen children with special needs, and many of those children were in the home that night their parents were murdered.
We are proud and pleased to announce a 3rd arrest.
Byrd and Melanie Billings, married for 18 years, were shot and killed in their 9-bedroom home on Thursday night. 8 of their 16 children were asleep in the home when it happened. 3 suspects were caught on this home security camera leaving the Billings property in a red van. It's the same red van that was found on Saturday night at the mobile home of 56-year-old Leonard Patrick Gonzalez Sr. Gonzalez has been arrested and charged with tampering with evidence. He reportedly tried to disguise the van with paint. 2 other suspects, Wayne Coldiron and Leonard Patrick Gonzalez Jr., were arrested yesterday, both charged with murder.
Once we had located the van, developed an address of where the van had been registered to, interviews with associated neighbors and friends and family then led us to 2 persons of interest.
Florida police don't believe the suspects knew the couple. Meanwhile, the mystery behind the killings continues.
Motive and motives in this investigation are still being developed.
And you may notice something interesting about the names of the suspects in this case. Leonard Rodriguez Sr. and Leonard Rodriguez Jr. They are father and son, and had a chance to talk to authorities here in Pensacola this morning. This investigation still well underway, and many more arrests expected in the coming days, Harry.
CBS's Terrell Brown, thanks. Also joining us from Pensacola is Escambia County Sheriff David Morgan. Sheriff, good morning.
Good morning, sir.
Are you ready to talk about a motive in this case yet?
Not specifically, Mr. Smith, because we are developing, as with many things in this case, multiple motives.
This couple, Byrd and Melanie Billings, the suspects, did they know them?
We have a sort of tie with this family through a business relationship, but to state that the participants in this crime knew the Billings family, we cannot confirm that.
All right, this is a little bit of an off-the-wall question. Is it possible that the suspects in this case were actually hired to murder these folks?
Well, of course, that would be speculation, but as I've stated in other press conferences, I wouldn't be surprised at any turn this case would take at this time.
To your knowledge, or at least for folks down there in that part of the world, did Byrd and Melanie Billings have any known enemies?
To the best of our knowledge at this time, at this point in the investigation, no, sir. We cannot confirm that.
This is a wild story. Talk a little bit about this family and in how high regard they were held. This couple had their own children and then went on to bring into their homes all these special needs kids. These folks were highly, highly regarded.
That's correct, sir. And again, especially Melanie has been referred to as an angel. They opened their home and their fortune to children with special needs, with autism and Down syndrome, and also children that had been born of drug-ridden mothers. And so that was one of the most shocking things about this case. Was everyone initially asked themselves, why this family?
Yeah.
You know, why a family that had just given their fortune and their home to such a humanitarian cause?
Which must make it all the more interesting and probably puts even extra pressure on folks in Escambia County. Hold them in such high regard. The shock level must just be stunning.
And again, because the hatefulness and the senselessness of this act has stricken the community, I must admit.
All right. Sheriff David Morgan, we thank you very much for your time this morning, sir.
Thank you, sir. It was an honor to be here.
You bet.